But so Joe's parents and my parents were like, you guys are the same age. You guys are both cool. You should be friends. And Joe and I were both like,
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Yes.
Everyone, it's Joanna, also known as the Tall Asian Girl. I am very passionate about storytelling and highlighting stories of people who live with passion and purpose and also stand tall in who they are. Because as a tall Asian girl, that's what I have to do whether I like it or not. Today I'm here with my friend Heather Casimir.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, Joe.
Hey. So I'm actually visiting Heather in Seattle.
Woohoo.
And we are in her place right now and we're gonna share a bit of your story. You okay with that?
Totally good. Let's do it.
Heather, how would you describe yourself in 3 sentences or less?
I am a writer. I am an artist. And I am a passionate speaker and someone who's passionate about emotional healing.
How do we know each other, actually?
So Joe and I grew up in the same church in Oakland, California.
Shout out Shiloh Church.
Shout out to Shiloh Church. It was primarily black. There was one Asian family.
That was us.
That was
the lies. The only Asians in the house. That's how people knew us.
But so Joe's parents and my parents were like, you guys are the same age. You guys are both cool. You should be friends. And Joe and I were both like,
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
We grew up a mile away from each other.
We did.
We just were never friends.
It never had happened. But then life happened. We moved away. We went to different colleges, different things. And then we came back to San Francisco.
And then we went to reality church and we saw each other one day. And then we just became friends and we've seen each other actually these last few years on a journey because we've both been through a lot.
Yeah.
Heather, you've been on this journey of personal growth these last few years.
Yeah.
What would you say is a challenge you faced in your life?
Yeah. I think I would talk about anxiety.
For those of us who don't know, what would you say anxiety feels like?
I think it can be different in different people.
Okay.
I think it can manifest in different ways. My symptoms were more like, racing pulse, spiraling thoughts. I had chest pain at some points. Just really scary, terrifying, a feeling of impending doom. It was about 4 years into living in New York City that I started to have panic attacks and anxiety, and it really made me confront my faith and be like, okay, if God is who he says he is, where is he in the midst of anxiety and panic attacks?
Do you know what caused the anxiety? Because you were living your best life in New York. This girl loves New York City.
I was definitely living my dream in New York. But there's several different factors that can cause anxiety. Some of it can be genetic. Anxiety and depression do run in families. It can also be childhood trauma. It could also be environmental factors. So for me, it was probably a variety of different instances.
In New York, you experienced your first panic attacks.
Yeah.
And then you were living your dream there, and then you decided to come back to California.
Totally.
Which was a total change. Why did you decide to face your fears instead of just running from it?
It wasn't just sheer bravery on my part that made me want to confront it. I think I definitely ran first. I think it's easy to reach for a glass of wine or reach for a while I just ran because I physically ran because I think I was trying to run away from my fear. And then in 2012 my dad had a cardiac arrest.
I know.
And so it was kind of in the midst of all of this anxiety that I was going through, but God really just did a miracle in my dad's life. And he went from a man whose heart had stopped, who was resting on a bed of ice, to someone who was completely
I remember
recovered.
that. It was crazy.
Yeah. And so I think just seeing that miracle in our family's life made me think, okay, I could either run from anxiety or look at what God just did in my dad's life. If he could do that for my dad, would he not do that for me? And so it just made me look into that relationship deeper.
What would you say has helped you?
The first word that comes to mind is help, right? You need help. You can't find your way out of something that you have found that you've stumbled into. You can't find your way out of something that you don't know how you got into it, right? So I would say therapy. First and foremost, before I moved back to California, I started therapy in New York, and then continued therapy in California. So I think help is a huge thing. Also, God just really revealed a lot of painting stuff. That was really healing for me to be able to paint during the season of healing.
That's a painting right
That's
there.
A painting right
That's
there.
A painting right there. This entire room is full of paintings. We had to rearrange this room. We got a lot of paintings. I will show you what's up with the painting. She paints.
And you know about the swimming thing.
Yes.
Yes.
We're swimming
We're
our
swimmers.
saving grace. The water, just
swimmers.
get in it, and
Yes.
it is good. Okay, so what helps is painting.
Painting, swimming, therapy, huge. And writing about it too. I think when you're in therapy, you start to realize it's not just you who's isolated in this condition, but it's a lot of different people who have dealt with panic or anxiety or depression. And so, yeah, it's important to share your story with other people. They realize that they can be vulnerable, you get to be vulnerable, and then the shame leaves the room, which is great.
I know, and it's so amazing when you share with other people. It's a way to really deeply connect with others. Your pain produces purpose. You went through that so you can help someone else.
Yes,
so it's so
you
amazing.
know, Joe.
Yes,
Joe knows.
Preach it.
Preach.
Yes. So you came here to Seattle to go to seminary school.
Yeah.
And really to work through a lot of
Personal
your past.
stuff. Yeah.
Where would you say you are at now with your anxiety?
Now I find myself a 32-year-old woman who no longer has panic attacks, who does run into the occasional anxiety, but I have tools of how to deal with that now.
That's awesome.
I'm able to do everything that I was scared to do or limited me before. Things that used to cause me to have panic attacks don't cause me to have panic attacks anymore. And I've been able to share my story with others, even most recently speaking at commencement.
I soon realized that I wanted to grow more than I wanted to remain in hiding. Do not run from the fear that stands between you and what you've been called to do. Run at it. Your freedom and the freedom of those you fight for is on the other side of that fear.
It's very empowering when you start to see the things that you thought, if people found this out about me, I would be so ashamed. And when you begin to actually share those things willingly and they're received in love, it's really amazing how you get set free and other people get set free.
Totally. And it's amazing because your class voted for you to be the commencement speaker, and 2 years ago, did you ever envision that you would speak in front of hundreds of
500 people?
Yeah.
No, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to other people who are experiencing anxiety and are afraid to confront it?
I would say ask for help, so that you realize you're not alone. And realizing like therapy is not a failure, it's a good thing. It is helpful. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Do you have any final departing words?
Be brave. Run
Yes.
it.
She even got a tattoo
Run at
about it. Look
Yeah.
at this. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Please add any comments below, like or subscribe, comment on Heather's earrings. You guys probably want to know where they're from. Where they from?
Forever 21.
There you go, man.
AKA Courtney Lee.
That's
Okay.
right. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.